gotta stop fucking with these basic hoes. They care more about a picture than they do their soul. Come and lay and shine my garden. I know that the love I got is pineapple cognac. Squash in the morning, I'm on that. Baby, eat the food like you vegan. I got a lot of love for the weekend. I got pineapple cognac. Squash in the morning, I'm on that. Baby, eat the food like you vegan. I got a lot of love for the weekend. You gotta stop messing with these basic hoes. Hey, don't elevate your mind, they vibrating low. Baby, you wanna try them all, get a buffet. You want a bad bitch, get a puppy. I give you peace of mind, that's my forte. I give you peace of mind, that's my forte. I got pineapple.
That's the bar of the day. Give you peace of mind, that's my forte.
Baby, eat the food like you vegan. I got a lot of love for the weekend. I've got pineapple cognac. Yoga and squats in the morning.
I didn't even drink dark ale ever, but like this makes you want to just. This sounds like you have like a couple of days off. Like this just sounds like something good. Just start to feel like 3 or 4 days off. Come home, just you and your person. I don't give a shit what your person has been. Just you and your person. Peaceful person. Is that it's the fucking thingy? Is that a harp?
Yes. That's
oh my god!
It has a feeling of like you don't have to swirl it to see the tears of the drink. You can just kind of sit there and just stick your hand out, and then she places the drink in your hand, and then a hand on your shoulder, and says, "How was your day?"
Harp energy is untapped. Absolutely. That's crazy.
Just
holy shit. I didn't even like. Shut up, sir. Cut this ad off.
Quiet man.
Yeah. But a harp, man. That's an
underrated sound, underutilized vibration. Like everything has vibration, sounds, and particular instruments can give you certain feels. Harp is one of those. Like there's nothing about a harp that can give you negative vibration.
No, I forget what that. Hi everybody. I forget what that. There's a thing going around. I know it's an ancestral playing post.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the guy's name is, but it was somebody in music, and he was discussing per the usual, like the actual like vibrations and like the topics of music. I know that's a big topic here, but he was just expressing like because he even went in like he's like past the his little excerpt was like past just the words. He's like the tones like. And that kind of goes back to that thing Kanye said forever ago.
Yeah.
Even when he was like the vibrations on when I was making like 808s and heartbreak. He's like, that's really bad. And he's like, it sounds good and all that stuff. But he's like, the content, the tempo of the music, the literal vibrations of the music, all of that has effects. And then there's like obviously I forget what the science is called, that talks about the actual how the vibrations affect the body. So I set out to say like, yeah, songs like that are appreciated. I can't lie, like I definitely listen to the nonsense. I just know that you got to cut that in there with some stuff.
Absolutely.
I had like a Sango moment like for the past like 2 days. I just needed I needed weird Portuguese sounds that I don't understand, and yeah.
Welcome to my morning.
Yeah, I used to have like an actual like routine? Like that routine of it, but now it just like when it hits, it'll be like, hey man, 6 hours, 6 days of the same 5 songs. It don't matter. They just are working right now, so go for it.
I mean, mine to be on routine. I think I stepped away from it a little bit over the last week, but normally, no words, no nothing. All my music are sounds. Something soft, something nice. This is going to calm me. I don't want to hear people talking. Just nice vibrational energy coming through the speakers to help just flood this space in my eardrums with peace and positivity. And I'll listen to that and put that on more than anything.
I know I do that. I know I do that for sure. Like when I'm trying to like get myself to sleep or relax, like I'll even just play it in the background. If I'm like, even if I was playing a game or doing some stuff, I'll play like I like search for my specific hurts for the evening in the space, and then I know I usually go to sleep with the I'll like not be able to pick, so I find like a lot of these things that have like all of them together, so it's like a 10-hour thing. It gets me through the whole night. And I have noticed, I'm not gonna hold you, like when I do that and I'm like focused on, I think it's one when I listen to it and it just helps in general. But when I'm like actively focused on, all right, man, let me kind of relax and wash over, and that shit's going, it get a little trance like. It gets you kind of
Get you real nice and light.
Yeah.
Lose a couple pounds of pressure in your mind. Makes you feel good. That's when you're like actively paying attention to it. Speaking of actively paying attention to what you're listening to. So, as I was going to share with you, to share with the people, hi, folks. Howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Cousin's funeral was this weekend, or service, celebration service. It's not really a funeral. His celebration service was this weekend. Had a wonderful, great time connecting with the family and all the extended family and people that are supportive and things of that nature. I'll get more into that in a second. But as I'm driving back, when it's my turn to drive, because, giving people a break, I finished out the rest of the drive, like the last 2-3 hours. Turn on the playlist. Now, granted, shout out to Eric, Get Right. Been listening to
New Jack Swing.
New Jack Swing, New Jack Swing playlists and things of that nature. So I turned one of those on as I was driving.
I downloaded that too.
I support
bro.
Eric.
So I'll be clicking, bro. Him and Beeve, I click their playlist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna support their playlist for sure. I wasn't listening to this one, wasn't his specific one, but this New Jack Swing era is gonna have a lot of the same songs. So I was vibing to it a couple days before I went up there, just because some of these songs I ain't listened to in a minute. But driving back, I'm actually listening to them because I'm trying not to fall asleep while I'm driving.
Right.
And I know people have said, like, when it comes to 80s and 90s R&B, like, that's just, we don't talk about how they're so romantic and this, that. And we've talked about how, like, a lot of that's full of shit. Like, they made it sound good, but they were lying to you to get the panty draws. But I think there's some of them songs we ain't really listened to.
No.
Because I listened to some of them, and them dudes in some of them songs was talking about, like, hey, you don't treat me right. Hey, you don't respect me the way that I need to be respected.
I have a take on this.
You ain't treated me the way I need to be treated, and it's enough of this. Like, we not gonna do this no more. And these are songs that you can like dance to, and it's like, no, you ain't doing your job. You're not treating me how I need to be treated. I need to be loved to somewhere else, or you need to get your shit together, essentially. And I was like, wait a minute, it's like 4 songs I heard that say that, and I never really paid attention to, like, that was the message and part of the song. And I was like, hey,
I saw you and him walking in the rain. Alley cat coat. That's the funniest bar. That whole last orange, that's a man.
But that's even before them. But like I think we've overlooked how a lot of these songs we're not paying attention. We'll pay attention to Mary J and all that stuff from the same time period, the same era of how men were just disrespecting women and women crying their eyes out about how a man did them wrong. It's like, but you was dancing to this song about this man telling you how he was being dismissed and disregarded, and we ain't pay attention to them bars from the same song.
What's one of the big theme? Capitalism. Like I know, like, that's a part of it. I know, like, like they talk about is it women's books or is it some? Anyways, it's that they buy a lot of music. Same concept of, like, you'll go to the club, niggas will pay $20-$30 to get in the club because women are there.
Right.
So, I feel like artists, at some point, you make the music that you're really feeling. I'm hurt too. I'm, feeling a way. You've treated me wrong. But the big catch is us. We're the ones buying your music. So you're going to make music geared towards us. Now, as an artist, I can't even really, like, I kind of bounce between, like, I understand it, but that's kind of, it's not the same conversation as making, like, trauma porn films.
Right.
I'll get to that in a minute. But I understand you have to make your money. You have to, make the music that helps you and so on and so forth.
Right.
But it does create, like, because the people out here consuming it, you're consuming same thing we do with rap. You're really still consuming this, what they're discussing. You're consuming, like, the topic. So it's like, yeah, niggas aren't shit because these 7 songs. I know that that's a thing. I don't know. I can't say I speak for y'all, but like that's a part of like, well, yeah, she said it, Rihanna said it, fucking this one said it, this artist said it. They're trash. They're absolute trash. And it's like, they're making the songs about it, but there's just other sides, other context. And a lot of times, like the dudes, like we said, the dudes that were singing it, some of them niggas were just really lying. I'm a, I tell her what she want to hear just so I can, like it's a lot of that, and they're just not healthy, relationship dynamics. Nobody's saying don't take care of your partner, don't do any of that, but that's a lot of times what the songs are promoting. It is a lot of, I know this is like a thing that everybody act like they don't exist, but it's big on like women ego, lady ego, and it just it presents different, but it's just as huge and it's just as out there as ours. It's just you get to wrap dudes up because it's just ours is just promoted, but there are all these things are ego statements. Like it was even something today. Just I wasn't even like thinking about that, but I don't really know who she is, but I think she's King Von's sister. Yeah, and it was a conversation about like if me and my friends are out, then you need to pay for all of us, and you niggas is just broke and cheap. And I know myself, I know that I'm advocate of growth and change and blah 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 blah. If tomorrow this hits, everything hits, man. Good news. We all take off. We're all millionaires. All of us got big houses. We take yacht parties every weekend. It's lit. Me, my lady, whoever I'm, if she's lady I'm dating, lady I'm married to, lady I'm in whatever with, lady, these 3 ladies, whatever relationship dynamic you want to put me in,
lady of the night,
it's me and her. You all, I don't owe you anything. And I'm not even saying like if you chose to do that, that's cool. But that is not I think for me, it's not even just the act of paying for it. Because even the example of you pay for your dogs because your dogs will the idea of this idea that like you just would set out for your friends and disregard your women. The basis for you going out of the way for your friends because the feeling is reciprocal. You set yourself out for your dogs, your homies, your bros, your insert, whatever thing. It's because these are people that have proven that they care for you and love you unconditionally. It's not I don't know, man. All of y'all are just throwing around words like attracted to this person, friendship wise. I'm like, you just know this person is there for you. The same thing you want to feel that for your partner. Now, the other side of this coin is we're never disregarding that there are dudes who just don't do shit for the homies, don't do shit for a hoe, all that. But there's not a conversation that the other side is you're just not that, and you haven't proven that. You haven't. Your entire basis for how you've conducted yourself in this relationship is gimme, 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 take, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's like, well, he needs to pay for. No, like he doesn't need to do that, and you should appreciate when every time, like. DC has paid for stuff for me. Like he's bought me food and whoop, 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 but he didn't have to do that. And I'm appreciative every time somebody does a thing like that. So I don't like the air that like I'm supposed to do something. Like you're not supposed to give me no coochie. I appreciate let's make it just the most bare bones. I'm not, that's your body. You're not supposed to give me anything. Thank you for giving it to me as much as you give it to me. And I'm a big fan. But if bro, I don't care none of us, well, not none of us, but $40 an hour is a nice income. You could be a decent person with $40 an hour. 1 hour of your life that you gave to your profession costs $40. You go out to go get a meal. You go to a halfway decent restaurant, that plate of food is $40. That nigga gave you an hour of his life. He didn't owe you that, and he doesn't owe the rest of you a goddamn thing. He doesn't really owe you that. He gave you that and say thank you. I feel like that shit is crazy.
As I stated, like for you, off air, sometimes the person saying the thing discredits the thing that's said.
For sure. I know we say a lot of people out here about, message over messenger, but sometimes, man,
sometimes
the messenger
whoever's
is trash.
Delivering the message, you just automatically, you can, this is intermission. I can go get some snacks because whatever's going on right now is not about to be.
My boy, don't send no more WIDs, no more what you doing. Send the LMA. Leave me alone. Because nope. Leave me alone in hell somewhere.
Right.
I'll figure it out.
But I think that's interesting because I don't want to jump into it yet because I was going to be part of the next following segments. Right now we just we venting. But like how men have to go through certain things and kind of suffer in silence. They're just supposed to like grin and bear certain things, as opposed to being able to advocate for themselves, because we should be able to, like, that doesn't make sense. The keywords that you brought up in your analogies, like proven, these people have proven, have a rapport with them. You'll buy something with your homeboys, or you'll spend something on all your homeboys. Yes, they've been with me before this. They've supported me. They've given me a place to stay when you kicked me out. They've given me all types of support that I needed. They were able to give me a shoulder to cry on, or at least, a chair to sit in and vent. Of course, I don't mind paying for them in this instance, because I've had times where I didn't have it and they paid for me.
We can even get into it. My bad.
No, no, no.
But like, I just like, because this is the term that's always thrown around. Your friends, family, whatever. I don't like people asking for something that they can't provide. The theme of the week when it comes to relationship is unconditional love. But it's like, ma'am, sir, whoever, you have not shown me that. What you're saying, if we're talking about just as people who have gone through the process of joining organizations, like, these are individuals who started out as strangers.
Right.
Some. Mine was a little different. Shout out to my dog. What up, guys? They didn't have to do these things. These are people who did. Oh, you ain't got nowhere to stay. Oh, you came in for summer session or fall session. You don't got your stuff together. I got a couch. You don't have nothing in your wallet. I have food to give you. Like, and there was no, you need to pay me back. Obviously, you pay your people back, but it was genuinely for, I'm looking for your best interest for no other reason, because we're all broken in this space, and that carries on throughout life. This person who we've been dating for a year now, you honestly, in this year, I'm not even gonna make it a time frame thing. Let's list out the events. You have not done anything even remotely on a scale. This person has done level 8 to 9 things that are like, care about me.
This person has split a sandwich with me bare hand out in the public. We ain't washed no fingers. We was playing ball. He said, let me get a piece of that. And I held it and let him tear it with his bare hands and complain. We didn't ate together, no napkins, chill, dude. We got to be like, we have that level of rapport, and we've done that for, say, 10 years plus. I've known you for 1, and you've done this the entire time.
Bro couldn't even talk to you if he didn't have the list of, hey, I'm doing this, I'm hearing this in life, I'm whoop, 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 whoop. This person accepts you for as they are. That's why they get this attention. Right. Same way you do this. And the reverse is like the same for your girlfriends. This person has shown and proven that they are there for you and not for what you can do for them. And that is what, I don't know, that's like a big thing in any of these relationship conversations. It's like, you would do this for your partner. And it's like, you don't even appreciate because you think you're owed that. You're not owed that. Right. I'm giving you that and appreciate that.
I mean, that'll be interesting when you say, again, sometimes the messenger is going to let you know the message is going to be full of shit, but seeing certain messengers that'll put the trope out there of, like, I think I sent you this one last week, as far as like why a man wants to spend more time with his boys than you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, because he knows that this is like the nurtured relationship that's more beneficial for him. These are people that have, through time and time again, have shown me that they love and support me for who I am. And I'm arguing with you, and I haven't even known you a fraction of the time that I've known them. And it's not even for something that I'm doing wrong. It's just the fact that I am being misunderstood or whatever the case is. But we're funking over here in this space because we're trying to learn each other, but we're not really trying to learn each other. They have funked with me and still let me be in their space because we've gone through these things together and we're willing to accept each other, whether we agree or disagree.
Yeah, see, I didn't even like that one either, because that one's still in that video, and I'm not gonna find it because y'all.
There's enough of them out there. You don't have to.
It was still based in like it was crazy. Like, just the thought process of the girl in the video was saying the answers, but was missing like the context. She was like, "Is there when you want to be emotionally open, emotionally this, emotionally that?" And I was like, "How are you not seeing that? Like that the court, like the answer to this is why are you not looking over at that group and figuring out?" Why is this so much safer? Am I just ask the question? Like, if you ask the question and you come to the conclusion that, hey, I am being this and that third, then that's a different conversation. Right. But he doesn't not go over here. They don't like, because I know a lot of it is people go to places where they feel like there's the argument of like, you go where you're they're just gonna like hype you up. I don't really have that. Like, I try to make sure I keep at least a couple friends where it's like bullshitting. That was wrong. But the difference between you bullshit and that was wrong, it doesn't come with you stupid, dumb, punk, motherfucker. Why would you even what is wrong with you? Like, it's a, hey man, you fucking up, and let's try to work and figure out how to get you back in a good space. Even if it's talking about,
I challenge that, because even sometimes you can say that to your boy, but you know it comes from out of love. Like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you?
even that is context
being
and
a
tone.
dumb ass. What is wrong with you? You should know better than the man. What the fuck? Like, you can say that to your boy, and you still understand that that's coming from a space of love because they're having your best interest at heart. You can hear that from someone else and know that, no, that's venom in your voice.
Yes, see the tone and energy of it, because I'll say, I'm gonna bring it back to the field in my career because I know stuff. In the times that, like, say, you and me have had, I'll call them, like, little therapeutic breakthroughs with clients.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enter that acting like, what are your thoughts? I definitely came through swinging all the hammer in the world, and everyone I've swung hammer on 16 at a time, or 6 at a time, or 1, and everybody lined up, and the response is always, well, yeah, I understand that it is not a jump on me to do what you want me to do, jump on me to whatever. It's a, I believe in you, and we're going to figure out why you're doing this, because I think the best of you. I think the world of you. So you can hear that in a partner. It's like, you're not talking to me because you think the best of me and want me to do my best. You're talking to me because you want me to do what you want me to do.
Right.
And that ain't the same shit.
No, not at all. That's not my best interest at heart. But that goes unnoticed. That goes unaddressed. That goes non-disclosed. But that goes back to, like, what I said about these songs. Like, these songs were popular ass songs from, like, the late 80s up until now. People have been listening to these songs, but they haven't really heard the messages that come from them. Why is it when it's us expressing something, it gets overlooked?
Go to therapy. I just thought about this. Like, find your why. Like, go to therapy, because everything I know what I'm talking about. In that video, he's not talking. He's going to talk to the boy. If you were to ask her or anybody else to, like, repost that and said that, why are you saying this though? Are you saying this, like, where is that coming from? It's like, oh, well, because you can go talk to your homegirls. If I'm not understanding and I'm not correlating, if that's a safe space, go talk to your mom, go talk to your sister. And I'm in a space where I cover this part of your life. I'm good at this and I have to grow. But if you're sitting there, keep asking yourself, you're not really worried about him. The whole onus is, why are you not talking to me? Why are you not giving me the attention? Why are you not whoop, whoop, whoop? And you're not thinking anywhere. Okay, stop. Take it completely off you. 5 fucking minutes. I'll give you a cookie and 2 lollipops. 5 minutes to not make the onus of why he's going over there about you. Or at least not in that context.
Right.
There's a concept. I know I don't be dropping the bars like that because I be trying to act like, it's a philosophical thing on my point to try to talk. But the concept is called reframing. So if you have your mind frame is a bunch of boxes. So if you shave the corners off and it's like, well, let's reframe this as a circle. Let's cut the corners. Let's put some more corners. Let's look at it as a triangle. Let's widen this triangle, like, so you can see the whole scope of it. Like, these conversations be said really hard and really loud. And you know what the crazy thing is? I follow people who are like, way whatever in the fucking space, doctor this or a therapist that with 1 billion followers. This dude's been doing therapy for 20 years and mastered up and has done. And you know what? They never speak with the absolution of these fucking idiots that just out here saying nothing. It's like, well, this is how it is to this point, to this degree, because we can work around it and it works. And I've been servicing people for 40 years and I took this billionaire and made him a gazillionaire, told him whatever. And you with a phone, well, that's what it is.
The only people
that, baby, what we talking about?
Right. The only people that 100% function in certainty all the time are fools and dreamers.
That's a bar.
Everyone else that's functioning within the spectrum, within the gray area, within the lack of absolute and are okay with that and are willing to fluctuate on some sort of spectrum, they're the people that are more well thought out. They're the ones that are going to understand things and approach things better. So when you have people that are presenting certain narratives that are one-dimensional, like, fools and dreamers. Like you said, King Von's sister. Just hearing, oh, you're so-and-so's sister. Fool. Not to be disrespectful, but he's not here because of terrible decisions. So any game that you got from him or anything that he taught you probably was not for your best interest. because it wasn't for his own best interest.
I had even watched something that correlates to that idea the other day. I was at work and I was just like, I kind of like, that's where I get my little discussions, lectures, whatever off when I have like a little free time. I like hearing that in the background. It was like years ago. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was going back and forth with Ben Shapiro.
Mm-hmm.
And Shapiro. But I give him 2 points for having somebody who is completely opposite of you on his platform and giving him space. And it was really just like the whole conversation was really based on, they were talking about it was a whole bunch of topics, but this particular clip was them talking about gay rights and transgender rights. And Ben Shapiro was like really, really like trying to stand on this one topic about biology and how do we get over this. And Neil deGrasse Tyson's whole thing was like, you can do it, but he's like, you understand that like having those conversations it hits on all these points. You're talking about it as biology, but talking about it biology and you putting it in the hands of politicians, you kind of get yourself in a Roe v. Wade situation. But they're going to put in policies that affect people's lives, when at the end of the day, how this person expresses doesn't bother you in real life. So if we're going to have the conversation to have it and apply it to science and just do it for the sake of knowledge, that's one thing. But you're a fool, so to speak, because your mindset is so to take this and then you're going to give it to people that are going to be equally fools and apply that shit to putting in policies that you don't think past your own hand. Behind your hand is these policies that affect people's lives. In front of you is, we got to stop this.
And what's the hand signaling though? The hand is signaling the surface level of a thought. Normally the fools and dreamers are only going to stay within surface level. They're not going to really try to dive deep into anything, because then it ain't that deep. That'll be the statement for a lot of people when they've run out of an argument to defend whatever bias they're trying to confirm. It's just like, it ain't that deep. And it's like, but if you think about it, it really is, because everything is.
It's shit that don't be that deep. Everybody make it like whatever.
It's not that deep when it's against your idea.
That's true.
Or against your perspective.
Shout out to Van Lathan, and I'll maybe get into this later, but what he said is what I've said from jump as somebody who was like, been reading this shit my whole life. Black Panther is amazing. And like the way that was presented, because like I've seen on the internet, as soon as it was like couple things was recast, and it's like, so you're against, that's not even remotely the conversation. So yeah, some things are definitely like that deep, and it just it is how you think about it. Oh look at me, I thought I was like too.
No, you right on time there, champ.
Well, yeah, man, commercial, but we'll talk about stuff, and stuff do be that deep depending on who you talk to. Okay, bye for now.
TTFN.
But we'll talk about stuff, and stuff do be that deep depending on who you talk to. Okay, bye for now.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I might need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The Podcast Pit is coming.
The Podcast Pit is coming.
What's up, friends? It's IE and friends. We're here at the Podcast Pit LA. It was so fun. We came to rep the IE. I think we did a pretty good job. So shout out to the Podcast Pit for having us. Shout out to TGN. You guys should definitely check them out. You should check me out, Saul V. Gomez.
Y'all can find me at I Know Caesar on IG. You can find me at airbear_IE on IG.
And you guys can find the podcast at IE and Friends on every social media network except for OnlyFans. That's coming soon. So stay tuned. So follow us and follow TGN Podcast Pit. Have a good day, guys.
Are you looking for the best barbershop experience? Then the Locker Room Barbershop is the place for you. Check them out at their new location, located at 16900 Lakewood Boulevard, Unit 204 in Bellflower, California. If you would like to book an appointment, you can check them out at thelockerroom05.com or on Instagram at The Locker Room Barbershop LLC. Feel free to call the number 562-202-9602. Again, that phone number is 562-202-9602. Can't wait to see you at the Locker Room Barbershop.
Hey there, business owners. Don't miss our limited time offer. Advertise on the Good News Radio as low as $2 per commercial slot. That's right. Promote your business up to 4 times a day, every day for a month on live radio. If you're interested, email us at contact@tgnradio.net. Once again, that's contact@tgnradio.net.
Fee Fi. Fo Fum. You already know what that means. We're live from the den. Devontae Green, proud founder and CEO of the Giants Den, also co-host Live from the Den.
Yes, indeed. Danny Crumble, co-founder of the Giants Den, also co-host from Live from the Den. Excited to engage in these conversations.
Yes, leadership, self-improvement, real conversations that Black men have or need to be having. Tune in Monday nights, 7:30.
7:30.
TGN Talk.
And it's only one way to end this powerfully. 1, 2, 3.
Salute.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vibes, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
Hey, Peyton, you know what I've been craving lately? Some ice cream.
Then we have to go to Slush and Roll. They have the best handmade ice cream rolls. You can add any toppings you like. Sprinkles, crushed Oreos, and my favorite, marshmallows. And you can top it off with whipped cream or delicious chocolate drizzle.
I just looked them up, and you can find them at 12742 Crenshaw Boulevard in Hawthorne, California. And they even have vegan options, too.
They sure do. And they're open.
Even have vegan options too. Yes, they sure do.
I saw something that was I can't remember now. I saw some post that made fun of vegans. Damn.
Oh, was it the one that I put up?
Was that you?
Where it said something about vegetarians, and I was like, yeah, those other V people too.
Maybe. I've seen a couple, but also like I don't know, man. It was funny though. Vegan jokes funny sometimes. But
all the time.
Yeah, you know, stay healthy or whatever, but you know.
Eat your fruits and vegetables and some meat too.
Watermelon. But yeah, my little previous little like half a rant about the Black Panther thing was, it's just like you were saying earlier about how some of these like conversations relationship wise, like, you know, minimize our perspective. And even as like Ray is pointing out, like, I think I can piggyback off that, like accepting different viewpoints and seeing things from a lens other than your own is such a beautiful experience. But most people don't want to feel wrong, even though that's not the point at all. And that's a bar. And I'm gonna use like the Black Panther thing as an example. So like, you know, obviously Wakanda Forever, like trailer dropped. It's been a big thing. Comic-Con was here. It's lit. Stuff's happening. People are kicking ass. A lot of Black actors are doing cool things. And like, yeah, I know I've said like conversations about don't just give me a race swap, but sometimes when it comes to like these fantasy characters, I don't feel bad because they're not real. And like half of the fact of as much as I'm a fan, like half of the fact that like why they were all white is because racism. So like, yeah, we could do this anyways. But also give us the characters that like matter that were originally Black, like Black Panther. So with what just to kind of piggyback off of what like she said and what Van Lathan was saying, like the issue I saw online a lot was there was a lot of people that are like bouncing around how to recast one is the recast conversation, but how to put this one as Black Panther, or how she fits, or how whatever, and some of the conversation that I saw was that kind of like boiled down and not acknowledged is this is almost one of the few times I was like jumping in comments and seeing, and you would see a lot of conversations about recast, and some of them were met with like the same opinion, but then others were met with like, obviously, you know, the geek community is like there's douchebags everywhere, so it was
Absolutely.
like it's one, people being racist, and then two, it's people being like, you know, why do you care? And I saw like, I didn't see a bunch of these, I will say that, but it was like a couple that like it started to turn into a conversation about like not trying to bolster up women or whatever. And I feel like that's just wrong. I don't have a really clever way to put that. It's a wrong way to look at it because that's not what the conversation is. And I think Van summed it up is for me, as I've stated before, I'm big on like a big brother sister story. I'm a big brother. I like seeing those dynamics. So even in the comics, I enjoyed watching them. Like, sure, he dies at one point. Like, I thought that was fucked up. Mm-hmm. She comes back as the griot. So I like these themes of people coming together. I like these themes of, you know, transition. You can take an L. Like, in this world that we live in, this fantasy character of where, you know, we live in a space where a lot of times as a Black man, you don't feel like you could take an L. If you lose, you shit the bed. Nobody believes in you. This man lost, you know, he loses his kingdom. He makes bad choices. He learns from, you know, going against the grain. Wakanda doesn't let nobody in. His decisions to mingle with the outside world eventually kind of like mess with Wakanda, messes stuff up, but then he bounced back, shake back, loses this stuff. So that was always I remember that story because I was like, oh, that's cool. That resonated with me. Like you can let yourself experience things, try something new, fuck up. And for me, I'm not gonna lose my kingdom. I might lose a couple years, a couple months on this, or I might feel a little bad. Him and his sister have, and in a world where all of our, even us, have the conversation we have on the show, all of our interactions are so her versus him. It's a black man has a great relationship with his black ass sister, with his black ass mama, with his black ass love interest, whether it was Nakia or Storm. Like, it's important. So, like Van said, like, for all of our characters, it's like, oh, you just go ahead and die, and you don't really have to. I'm like, that's not fair. That has nothing to do with the fact of, not wanting to see these other characters shine and stand up in their own and not be under him because he doesn't really overshadow anybody. But it's like, I think it's a benefit for both sides because half of the times, which is why I'm not really into the trauma porn stuff that we always create, I'm a dead character. I'm a piece of shit character. Like, black man's roles and a lot of shit is trash. So even from a female perspective, I would like to see in my mind, I'm not a female, but in my mind, I would like to see a representation. That's a good, upstanding dude. Do I want a nigga that needs to backflip off a building and punch a hole in a car? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what you're into. But the idea of like a good charactered person on screen having good interactions, I don't understand why that fight isn't more, just I understand. I guess I understand it from the people who worked with him. Because I'm not gonna lie, if I worked on Black Panther, I probably wouldn't want to see a recast. That was a moment in history, like that, how that film was received. But I don't know, the conversation not happening and people taking it literally every other way but the way that it's meant. I'm like, again, they're kind of a representation of when we let ourselves be, vulnerable and speak our truth. Get shit on.
I would ask, why do you think that is? Well, we already kind of know. to be honest, it's easy to minimize or dismiss or let go of a positive male image and let it rest, because there's not that many of them anyway. So we don't have to worry about trying to find someone else to fill these shoes. Nobody's going to fill these shoes anyway. But when it comes to, say, sticking with the trope of characters and superheroes, there's always a new white man to step up and take the mantle that's going to make things better and stronger, because there's so many great white men out there that can contribute to these spaces. But with black men, it's limited. So when you have one, you champion him, and when he passes or when he dies or when his time goes away, you continue to celebrate him, but you don't find anybody else to take over because it's not that common, which is not true.
You're right. That's also a good point. I didn't even think about that. All the villains of Marvel Phase 5 are black men. It's a trap. Also salute. I didn't even think about that. Like, I'm such a big fan of these, I know I like how they handle villains. They give them depth, they give them reasoning, but you're not wrong. Like all the big bads, like the High Evolutionary is a black man. I forget his name, but salute to him. I've seen him in some stuff.
I know.
And Jonathan Majors is Kang.
Right.
But
the Namor is, I thought I read his name. I don't know the actual dude, but I read his name. I thought he was like a.
Oh yeah, they're doing the whole
Latino guy.
They're doing the Aztec thing. But,
yeah.
But Namor is a big. They're gonna, in my mind, they're gonna flip him. He's not gonna be a villain.
Yeah, no, we already know, even in the comic books, he's kind of like the anti-hero. He's like Black Adam to a degree.
Yeah, but like the High Evolutionary is a villain, and that's a black man. I just can't remember dog name. Kang,
definitely
tried and true villain. So are the big bads of the Marvel universe, the people that are going to be the new Thanoses, are black dudes.
But we're giving them their opportunity. We're creating inclusion when really we're just allowing them to fill the same role that we've always put them in, which is being the bad guy.
Well, look at this one. Killmonger was seen as a villain, even though he exercised his birthright. Killmonger is a villain, but like Killmonger, I don't know. This is me having like conspiracy brain. Killmonger was a dope villain, but Killmonger being a villain attached to his ideals, I think villainized his ideals as well.
Right.
Because Killmonger, I'm not gonna lie, as much as I like Black Panther, Killmonger represents me.
Yeah.
Killmonger represents all of us who are out here, basically the world. Like we're marginalized.
This is what I deserve. This is how you treat me, but this is not just treatment, and I deserve better. So I'm gonna fight for it.
Yes, I'm gonna take all this shit and shoot it back on y'all. That's what kind of he represented. And even like in the he dies, and then when you have like a Black Panther who really is like, he's, I don't know, man, the way motherfuckers probably feel when they see Cap, how Cap is presented as inspiration. You get to keep, and Sam, like Anthony Mackie's not passed, but like I feel like they would recast Sam Wilson because you need to see the fucking red, white, and blue,
right?
But you need to see that as well, and you need to see, as I don't care, man, have 17 Black Panthers, everybody draped up. Wakanda does work, and
that's kind of how the mantle of the Black Panther works, though, right? It's passed down through culture and lineage. So why is it an issue to pass the mantle down when it's time to pass it? Now, granted, I understand in the grand scheme of comic books, T'Challa is supposed to be Black Panther, even though we don't talk about when his sister took over because he was injured and he was all that. But that's part of the story too, so you can easily use that. But we're not going to talk about that right now. They're going to figure out how to do it in the movie, however they've decided to do it. I'm still going to support it, but all these mantles can get passed down a number of different ways. You have multiple Hulks, multiple Iron Mans, different Caps. All these people have passed down their mantle in some shape, form, or fashion. But for us, we don't. We got one Luke Cage Power Man, and he has remained to be unseen when it comes to the Marvel Universe. We got T'Challa, who, Chadwick died. So now what do? We're just going to dismiss him and act like that doesn't exist anymore. When Black Panther is an intricate part in the Marvel Universe to begin with. So how do you not bring back somebody that's part of the original creation?
Yeah, because there's been a few Captain Americas, but Steve Rogers is a staple. You got to have a Steve. That's how these stories are told. There's multiple Supermen. Clark Kent is Superman, though. That's the one you need. There is a number of Black Panthers. T'Challa is the one you need, though, for some of these stories. Doesn't mean that you don't want anybody else, but these are important characters. That's the the whole reason we're going at a certain point is to go see said important characters, so they can have their stories told and blah 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 blah. Even what he said, like we got 3 Peter Parkers from 3 completely different universes. Like and
they brought them all together. We've had different actors play the same one superhero over and over again. They keep regurgitating the same movies for a lot of superheroes. We have 18 Supermans throughout the course of time, all different white men, but somehow, some way, we still are allowing that to be recast and redone. Same thing with Batman, but we couldn't try to do the same thing with a Black male lead that leaves the door open for a Black community.
And I'm even taking away from like the fact that I'm wondering now, where did this theme come where people just couldn't accept that a different actor has a different job? Like, I'm suspending disbelief in a lot of ways. And like the way that people are talking about, well, maybe they could do this, that, and the third, or maybe they can open up a portal. I'm like, just get another actor and put them in the role. Like, even for Superman, right? Even though this is years later, the initial Superman that was supposed to reboot the series, where they had, what is that fool's name? Like Brandon Routh, I think his name is, whatever the one is, where like it was the initial Superman and he like never threw a punch. That was like the big critique. Like, it was just this big drama filled thing. That particular Superman is canonically the same Superman of Christopher Reeves. That's the same character. Christopher Reeves is dead. Like, he's not here. So they just were like, we're going to keep really retelling the story. So I don't understand, even with the Flash going tits up, they're like, well, maybe we can open a universe. I was like, bro, go get that dude from TV. Tell him, do you want to be in this movie? Put him in the suit. And I'm going to believe it's him, because actors are people. I know I'm watching a movie. So that I don't know. That's one of the things is bothering me. I'm like, why don't y'all just get another person to do the job?
They can in certain situations where they want to keep the symbol alive, but that's kind of, I think, Van's argument is like, why don't you want to keep a Black symbol alive?
Yeah.
No matter who's playing the role, why don't you want to preserve this Black symbol of positivity, connection, and culture? Why don't you want to find a way to prolong that and keep it going? I don't give a fuck if you got a 3D Tupac it and put that nigga CGI. I don't care, but
we CGI'd Paul Walker. I sat through every single X-Men. I watched them take Mystique. Nobody gives a shit about. She's okay. And they took what's her name and tried to make the X-Men revolve around her. And we all sat through that shit. Like, we all watched them like recast all these people. They're all in the same time frame. Those are all the same characters. That's not a different world. It said, all right, man, take these other actors, make them young, make them old. Motherfucker, give me what I want.
To Kenneth's
Fam,
point.
Holy shit.
But
they didn't even try to keep them to say. They said man and then put mouse in there.
Right.
You know what?
But here's my speculation on why. Because he's not looked at as important.
That's true.
War Machine's not looked at as an important character, let alone an important black character. So you can throw any nigger in there and he'll be able to fill the spot. As long as there's a black face in the suit and he just stands in, we don't really care. But this is something prominent. This is something that got black people a little bit more, Afrocentric. This movie, history repeats itself, but something about this movie got black people a little bit more connected to their culture. So if we wipe that away, then what? The movie will help, like, heartstrings and T'Challa and murals and Wakanda's being attacked by Namor and all this other stuff. But, like, aside from everything getting destroyed and plugging at the heartstrings, how do you keep that going forward and rebuild it in a certain way? Yes, the hard R, hard ER.
I'm not gonna lie. The only other thing I thought about this, somebody said it the other day. I stand by everything I said. But when they're putting all these theories of who could be the Black Panther, and nobody really knows the time frame, is it during the blip? Is it after the blip? I'm not gonna hold you. I'll lose my shit in all of this want T'Challa recastings, and I stand on it. But there's this little microverse where when I say a nigga would lose his mind if they put Angela Bassett in the fucking suit. Oh my god.
Now,
yeah, that'll do it. Hey, I'm not gonna hold you. That you motherfuckers.
Shout out to Sam, because Sam said the same thing when I sent her the trailer. She's like, I think they're gonna have Angela Bassett take up the mantle. She's in great shape. She's been acting on 9/11 or 911, whatever the show is on Fox. This, that, and the other. Shout out to the Reds. Gotta love the Reds. But she said the same thing. I think they're gonna put Angela Bassett in the mantle. But
it
that's
doesn't
fine.
change my mind, but
that's fine. But you still have to have T'Challa as far as the Marvel universe is concerned. That's how Stan Lee and the writers had it. So you can't have everything try to stay in the Marvel universe and be as close to the comic books as possible. But this thing, we're just gonna.
Do y'all know T'Challa himself went and got an Infinity Gauntlet and like wrecked shop? It was a thing. Like he has his own Hulkbuster arm. It's a thing. Like I was waiting, like there's just so many things. Like he's a warrior and stuff in the film, and that's dope. But we didn't even tap into the fact like Dog is a genius.
Yes,
he is like at any given time interchangeable with one of the smartest people on the planet. It's
richer
not up for debate.
And smarter than all the other people you keep creating movies for and thinking about recasting and all this other stuff. All the people whose lineage you want to preserve. He's richer and smarter than them in the Marvel universe. And that's the character we say,
Like, yeah, yo, there's that. I'm just like, here's my thing. I'm very selfish in this. I want my I got 50 Batman telling me he's the smartest thing on earth. Peter Parker's and Tony Stark's and whatever. I got Thor's, I got Superman's, I don't know, man. I got Homelanders that can just pick up buildings. I want my Blue Marvel. I want my T'Challa, and make my shit straight, bitch ass nigga. Like, forgive me, but yeah,
it's okay.
like
it's okay. You know what? I'll be honest. I know this is completely random, but say we recast. This is just for me. Y'all could put Michael Jai White in the suit. Like,
son, he's age appropriate.
You could put Michael Jai White in the suit for T'Challa. He looks like T'Challa. He's built like T'Challa. Can fight like. Well, he's a little bit. He's bigger than T'Challa.
Actually, I would take him as a Blue Marvel because he's age appropriate. Because Blue Marvel's fucking technically middle age, and he just kind of like stops aging. But yeah, he's like knocking over buildings and stuff.
I don't care. Just put him in the universe in general. But I would like to see him as.
I'm here to black all it out. Like we have a Black Hawk Man. I want a race swap. Like my only thing, like I want like Jessica Jones, cool, but make her black too. You could even make her like cut, but like. I want to know. I want to see black people slobbing down other black people, punching buildings, throwing stuff, having cool lines. Like
I want to see it because I haven't gotten my T'Challa and Storm moment.
See,
if we talk about like how much this has meant to the culture, how much these images have meant as far as promoting positive black strong male leads and creating positive black communities, we also haven't had the powerful black couple. We haven't had that yet.
Nope.
So how do you recreate that? Because that's an image that our community needs to see, because we already disregard each other. We disregard men. We disregard this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But that's an image that is written, that is proven, that is real, that was created in the comic books, that needs to be recreated for the screen for our community to see.
Sometimes I feel like that's why they're not getting shown to, because I've seen bland ass, bland as fuck. We're here now. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Cyclops and Jean Grey be the blandest, most just whack couple in history. I done seen old soft Wolverine crying over somebody that ain't never wanted you like that. I've watched that dynamic for like umpteen movies. I've seen old Milk Pace Clark fly after Lois forever, and I go every time, and I'm here for it. But I have till now, and even in our stories, what I don't like, that's one thing I didn't like about Luke Cage, because I kept waiting for the shoe to drop or him and Jessica Jones have to get together. And I'm not opposed to anybody finding love, but I have yet to see, man, make Jessica Jones. Nobody cares about Jessica Jones like that. Race swap, make her a black woman. Like, even with the Blue Marvel thing, I feel like we're gonna have to play up the part where like his first wife is white, and she's the one who betrays him, and then later on in life, him and Monica Rambeau is supposed to have like relationship, like just big black powerful, just punch a hole in reality love. And I want to see it, because every day I open up these apps and I have to come in here and talk about King Von's sister and her nonsense. So yes, give me my made up black love in my made up superpower world, because you niggas out here are weird.
Because we need it. And yes, Kenneth, they could redeem Killmonger. I won't say that they're lazy, because it's supposed to happen anyway. Killmonger dies like 4 different times and comes back in the comic books. They easily could get out, although we don't need to put Michael B. Jordan in everything, but you can bring his goofy ass back and put him in the mantle somehow, some way. It's doable.
Loki died every film. Then he comes back. He's a variant, got a show. Loki, not like you can do anything you want. The Loki we have now is not the Loki from the comics, and I'm here for it. I like the show. I like the character. Yep. He's out here interdimensionally, traveling. Buttholes, penises, women, lady butts, because Loki's mad bisexual. Like, it's a whole story. Give me all that, and also give me my other stories. You can give me the Killmonger story. Jean Grey is a bird.
I can't even laugh at it, because he ain't lying. She's an omega level bird. That's why she is Phoenix.
Yeah, even reading, like, I've never cared about Jean. Like, they just were like, she's always like a bland character.
Even Dark Phoenix was annoying.
Yeah, it was like hell.
I mean, I appreciate it because what it helped do for other characters, like them coming together and being developed to defeat Dark Phoenix and all this other stuff that was going on. But I never cared.
Wow, he did. Damn.
He did.
Hang on. Sorry. There's too much power in black folks seeing ourselves be powerful together. And they're whack. Michael B. Jordan dying in Chronicle is also a sin. Like, because
he didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, they just like, oh, somebody need to die now. I didn't like that part.
And
see, Loki's with it all.
Gang. Shout out to the gang. Polylife.
See, I started rewatching the X-Men from like the 90s, because they're bringing back X-Men 97 in 2023, and I just need to brush up. But like, I just want everybody to understand, like, Storm is an omega level mutant, and like I want that scene. Like, what Storm we've got in movies is
strong as fuck, and they've always portrayed her as some
Well, no, this is how you know, if you ever watch anything, this is how you know a character is really OP, is when you see them like on TV and they always pass out. Like, they make them pass out because they can't really, like, Storm could clear the board like at least 8 times out of 10. Like, have you guys been through like have you watched like natural disasters? She just make those.
I mean, they read the Bible and there's natural disasters and that wiped people out, and how know Storm wasn't the cause of that.
Storm is a walking, breathing, active God.
She is Mother Nature. And she gets with T'Challa, which is why we need T'Challa in the Marvel Universe. And side note, I saw how they kind of tried to have old girl be Storm in the Apocalypse shit. You better have somebody bad as hell when it comes to Storm. I don't want to hear no shit. Storm better be bad as hell.
I don't like that, because she's mid. She got like 2 or 3 lines. and they always just have her just throwing lightning. And I know that looks cool.
No, Storm.
like-
Storm is an intricate part of the story. Storm needs to be
Yeah.
in there, and it needs to be a bad motherfucker too, because Storm wasn't.
And
no-
she got hands.
She got
Like
hands.
she's not just floating around.
She
all
got
the time.
body. She got power. She has intelligence. She can lead her tribe in Africa, the whole 9 yards.
I would dead ass take a Storm miniseries. Like Storm going from like the X-Men and then going to Wakanda.
Yeah.
And then like her like journey with that, because then she gets Gentle. Gentle's like a Wakandan Hulk. I'm just gonna skip to the end. It's crazy, yo.
They had that in the cartoon.
Somebody hire us.
They had that in the cartoon when she had to go back to her tribe and save her son and all this other stuff because of the.
And they kids. Gentle's not even their kid. They got kids, yo. Somebody hire me. Well, I've saved. Me and DC have sat in here. We've got at least 20 episodes where we've saved the comic book movie industry. All of them. I don't pick a thing. We say, because here's the thing. I don't care about Batman and Superman no more, because y'all have yet to, the boys works, y'all have yet to give me an authority thing. And if I know y'all are not, the authority is like what it's like if you took the boys and like mashed it with the Justice League, because they're not bad characters, but they will kill you. And the Batman Superman equivalents of that story are gay. They're in a relationship, mad gay, and they be blowing niggas' heads up, and then they be having like the sex to celebrate, and then they cuss out people in like the media be like, what are you guys doing in a press conference? They're like, screw you guys, we just saved the universe, the multiverse, we're about to go back here and have an orgy, call me when the aliens show up. It's a show. It's a like, give me the money. Give me the money.
They would give you that before they give you a new T'Challa.
I mean, look, man, from what I hear, I haven't watched the show. My sister told me I haven't watched this new season. But look, you can give me the authority and it writes itself. Y'all got Uncle Clifford busting it open every episode on P Valley. So we can get, I can get what I want.
On The Boys, they had the orgy episode.
And that's not even that. Hey, and the orgy episode in the like what they did on the show, I get it as TV.
I know, yeah.
But the comic book, man,
it's wild.
Whew, it's not even the same. But the show's not the same premise, so it wouldn't even fit.
But the fact that they put it on TV means that we can't sit up here and say that we're not comfortable doing certain things, because we move mountains when it comes to putting certain stuff on TV. But we don't move mountains for a black man, especially not a strong one.
You know, I have a gripe with that, but we are getting towards commercial time. But I got a solution, because we are out here all creating these stories. We don't always have to create huge stories, but there's small stories that we could create, and we could do it if we all, or maybe even one of us, or maybe two of us, had a studio that was just solely ours, that allowed us the creative freedom to make whatever we wanted. And this, maybe even if we didn't write those stories, we could just maybe support or produce those stories. And if you had a good story, you were like some maybe like YouTube startup, and you had like a giant whatever, and you could maybe help. But we'll talk about that later, because I don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm commercial. But we'll talk about that later, because I don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm commercial.
What's up? It's Brandon from the Primos Chilos radio show. Are you tired of filthy, lowbrow, scummy entertainment? Well, I don't have the solution for you. Check out the Primos Chilos radio show, live Thursdays at 12 on TGN Latinx.
Are you happy with your life, money, career, or relationships? Most people are frustrated with how life is evolving around them. What if you could change one thing to turn your life into a different direction? Would you want the insight? How could you transform your life with intuitive awareness? Learn more. Get answers today. Book a free discovery session with Coach Zena, intuitive transformational practitioner. Go to www.coachzena.com or follow on Instagram, coach.askzena.
Manuel Jones, also known as Zach, the original Black Ranger. Hey, and make sure you're checking out TGN Radio. Hey.
Peace, family, brother Reza. I'm here. You already know I'm checking in with TGN Radio, Black owned, so you already know that's where I'm at. Tap in.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The podcast pit is coming.
The podcast pit is coming. Hey, what's up, business owners? Are you looking to take your business a step forward? Are you looking for more people to know what you have to offer? You are in luck. The Good News Radio has a special deal for you right now. You can get a commercial slot 4 times a day, every day for a month. If you are interested, email contact@tgnradio.net for more information.
Woolsey, it's Deshaun Showtime Watkins, and you can tune in to Compton Mania Monday nights, 9 o'clock on TGN. Woolsey.
Only on TGN Sports.
Birthdays are meant for celebration, and when it comes to celebrating, Flour and Sugar never misses a beat. Offering custom cake designs to fit any special occasion, your cake will be the talk around town. From sushi cakes to perfume bottles, everything is always edible with flavors like Oreo, banana pudding, and our top flavor, strawberry shortcake. I can't miss. Order your special cake today by email at flourandsugarla@gmail.com or visit our website at flourandsugar.store. Or if you want to see new design, follow us on Instagram at _flour_and_sugar_.
What up? It's Jay Pinkay from Limelight Live. Make sure you catch us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern on TGN.
Check. Okay, we're back.
Yes. So, sir.
Yeah.
You said you had a solution for all of this tomfoolery and ways to improve how our images and our figures and our people can be upheld at high regards and continued even in the midst of trial and tribulation. What is your solution, sir?
We have to support these films more often. We have to, I know it costs a lot of money and things like that. So I'm not saying that y'all need to turn into Marvel tomorrow. That is just like an unrealistic expectation. But I think that there needs to be more support on our end as like consumers and fans. And I think like in the space, I don't know what that looks like. So like I am speaking from a perspective that I don't really know how that works in the industry of getting things off the ground and creating little things. But I think it would help if more, I don't know, prominent people in the culture was like, active parts of it, even if you were doing like a short film or something like that, to kind of put some of these stories out that are just different. After time you tell a short or something like that, I understand everybody has like a certain perspective, but as we posted earlier this week, I'm just tired of like the trauma porn. Those are all the things that, and I don't care about what's the Oscars or anything like that. Like, just support your own thing. Like, I can't see myself. I know this story. This is not like something that I didn't know what happened. Like those, I can maybe like get around to seeing those. I can't find myself, and I don't mean any disrespect to those who are part of it, and I want y'all to all discuss. I can't see myself watching the Emmett Till movie. I don't really see myself like going out of my way to watch a story that if you aren't even that, into, Black history, that story. That is the story that kicked that. That's what got everything cracking. Like, I've seen that image is ingrained in my brain. I've seen it more times than I don't need because I don't know what else. For me, I don't even know what else it could bring as far as like gravity, because the documentaries, the things that we've all seen have all of the emotional kick. And I want everybody to get their just due, but I don't really feel like Jesus-led monologues or hearing that. I want to see films that show us in new lights, positive lights, and have, if it's gonna be some trauma, I need it to have a meaning in the end. Besides just tell me to overcome, or tell me that Jesus will come fix it, or tell me how to endure. Like when I watched, obviously, like for whatever y'all said about Django ends with everybody who did something got what they needed. Everybody, they got blown up, shot. It let me see, well, you went through it, but we came through in the end. Cool, I could deal with that. I even talked about, I remember this, the show They or Them, it was on Amazon, got a lot of mixed reviews, I would say, amongst us, because everybody's like, this is so traumatic, this is so it is, and like it's ghosts, it's scary. So even that lane is a lane that I feel like where the Jordan Peele is a realm that we don't delve in. You get to be all imaginative and shit, and even in that, the trauma I didn't feel like was just empty trauma. Like when I watch things, like I don't fucking know, man. Like granted, if you can make sense of what are those movies like For Color Girls and The Preciouses, Precious is a movie where there is, to me, I don't know the point. It's just expressing that fucked up shit happens, and it's fucked up top to bottom, and it stays fucked up credits. Like in it's like every scary thing, every spirit, every whatever is addressing a trauma, a issue, or whatever in our community. The daughter goes through like the thing of colorism. The dad goes through his issues of being a minimized black man in the community. You have to provide for your family, but you have to work in these spaces, and white men talk down to you're a boy or whatever. The black woman the mom has to deal with the trauma of, you know, being an angry black woman, being called crazy, their kid dies, they're fighting all these spirits. And in the end, they knocking motherfuckers out, and the family wins. Black woman, black man have an issue throughout the thing, and they come together that showed me something. They gave me hope. They gave me all these traumatic things. I'll take the roller coaster, but if you just say, hey man, this roller coaster dips, and then it just keeps dipping, and maybe you crash into the ground, that's like the best you get at the end. No.
Why are those the ones that we support the most? Whereas the ones that will take you through that progression, take you through a journey and show you how you can get through adversity and be uplifted and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Why are those the ones that we scrutinize the most, that we cancel, that we don't support, that we this, that we that? Why are those brushed aside? But the ones that are more trauma porn-esque, those are the ones that are held in a higher regard, or those are the ones that are put to the forefront of our attention.
I think they don't require more of you. I think, like, when I watched it, I was like, damn, this is tough. But when I started watching it, I was like, oh, this character is a representation of you, kind of, because he has like a you know, like minstrel dude follow him the whole show, but that's a represent. Like, I'm like, oh, it means something. Like, I have to think a little bit. Like, there's a theme to this. Obviously, it's scary, it's gross looking, but some of these other movies, I feel like play only into, like, it stops right at, like, you know, what's that shit? Like when people are, like, I think we said last week, like there's a progression to growth and to learning yourself and to blasting through mindsets, and everybody stops at, I don't like this. Or you stop at the easiest thing to do, I think, is, you know, admitting is what's that? Everybody, we make a joke about it. Like, admitting it is the first step, but everybody stops at first step. Right. I don't like this, or black men hurt black women, or black women say fucked up things about black men, or we are our own worst enemies. But there's no progression of how to work through this, how to fix this, where this comes from. It just, the whole fucking movie, film, song is just bad shit happens, bad shit happens, bad shit happens, bad shit happens. Okay, but what's the next part? Why does it happen? Right. Where did that come from? Like, even people talk about, I'll get in here and talk about Fences. I like Fences. I don't like to watch it all the time. It's a heavy film, but if you watch Fences, you're like, this is a movie about generational trauma and how it can affect us. So you should leave the film going, I understand what a Denzel goes through. I want to not be a Denzel. I want to figure out how I might even understand my grandfather and my dad a little more, because they only had the tool belt that they had. I understand why Meemaw stayed with Granddad. That's what they looked like. She gave all she could to this motherfucker. Cool. I can learn something from that. If it's just throw a baby out of a window and have Janet Jackson sobbing, or however, I don't know. I interchange all those fucking films. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then, like, the takeaway is not to, and I'm being a little too heavy on like Tyler Perry, but the takeaway is, like, you know, to take it to God and break dance in the church, and not to really unravel these things. Like, everybody always leaves these films with, like, that side is still shitty and that's how it happened. Right. Okay, but how do we fix this? It's cyclical, but it's cyclical. And for a lot of these movies, in my opinion, because we say art imitates life. For us being in the mental health space, that's how we as a community approach mental health. We stop at step one. We're just now starting to think that step two is okay, which is seeking therapy and processing the things that we go through. But for the most part, you've said it before, especially years ago when, you know, all the rallies were popping off during the pandemic, like, that's step one.
getting out and saying something, and then we stop there, it dies down, we get pacified, and then there's no change past that. In our community, we've had a history of doing that. We go to step one. Step one is uncomfortable, and we take a step back, and then we revisit step one when we have to come back to step one. But it's like, yo, there's 9 other steps that you got to take, and we don't want to take those steps because it's uncomfortable. Supporting our own, like you said, we can create these stories, we can support them ourselves. That takes extra work and effort that some of us don't want to do, or it's uncomfortable for us. It's uncomfortable for me to go, I'd rather go see this because this fits the narrative that I'm comfortable ingesting, but I'm not willing to support this over here, and this is pushing a particular narrative. Maybe I'm not comfortable not supporting movies at all. Maybe I just don't want to see any of these movies until I start seeing ones that I want to see, or even like it's out there. Random thing just comes to mind. How many people do you know have supported, say, Hidden Colors?
I've still over the years been introducing people in Hidden Colors.
Right.
Yeah.
That's information that's been out there. That's a different narrative. It presents a different perspective. It presents different beliefs and things of that nature that are beneficial to our community. But that's something that you have to force feed our people. But how many people, say, in our community went and saw Elvis?
I think things like Hidden Colors, though, it's not just giving you information. Half of that information also is new and broadens your mind, but the other half is it tears down what you're into, and you don't want to. I want to get to this comment, so I don't forget it because I got another. There's too much focus on the pain, resilience, and ability to withstand the worst. It's exhausting. We need to see the full scope of feelings addressed.
Absolutely.
So that ties into something that I've said a lot, is that, like, I feel like there's things that are in, like, entertainment, and they do reinforce things about you. And if you teach people that their best trait is they can get their ass whooped real good, like, Mike Tyson is not Mike Tyson if he never throws a punch.
Right.
So if you tell him, like, yo, you're a good boxer if you just learn how to take it, and he never realized, like, if I punch you in the ribs and I come back to your head, I'm gonna knock out the entire division. Because you never show him that that's a part of all Mike Tyson's videos stopped at him getting hit and doing this. You never realize, oh, he was knocking him out. You need to see him knock them out, so you go, oh, that's the end of. Otherwise, boxing just looks like I just want to get my ass whooped all day, all night. Right. I'm not gonna do that. But you fight because you know the possibility of I'll lay out or knock this individual out, and that's the side that we don't get in any of these films or any of these movies. And I don't know. Like, I'm just tired of that. Like, I have that conversation sometimes with any elder. I've done it with my mom, talked to it with my dad, and shout out to my parents, because I feel like I have a very, like, dope duo that they listen to me. And even when they like you got a point, because they get caught up, and it's a good space to start from. But if you don't think it out, I feel like you end up reinforcing these. Is black, I'ma support them. Pause that. Like, just because I feel like that's been the mood. That's how they've been getting us for years.
Right.
Just because black people in it don't mean it's a movie for black people.
Absolutely. I was gonna, like, add that in earlier when you were talking about, like, Django and different movies like that. Like, who makes these movies? Like, we also can find issue with, and, you know, throw under the microscope Tyler Perry movies and things of that nature, but at least that's one person. Or Jordan Peele, that's one person that's creating things for us, that's dictated by us, that are stories that, even though maybe fantasy or whatever the case is, they're coming from our space. They're creating a new narrative. But all the other ones that we're willing to ingest and hold at a high regard are not made by us. So we can't sit up and complain about, say, for instance, you're saying, you know, the trauma porn of all these different movies that are created from this one-dimensional perspective of what our history looks like, but those movies aren't created by us. Why is it that they're comfortable sticking to that? Why hasn't there been, say, a white movie director or a white movie producer that said, I want to create a Mansa Musa movie? See, like, those people are out there. We have the Orishas. We got the Eternals, but we wouldn't get the Orishas.
Children of Blood and Bone is in pre-production, and it's been there forever. I just love that book, and I want that to be a thing. So I don't know, man, support that. That's just my little tidbit on that. But right. I mean, and some of us shoot ourselves in the foot because, you know, Django is a Quentin Tarantino film.
Right.
And we get so caught up in things like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's like, think to step two, because everybody was mad. They said nigga in the film. They said nigga in all these other films. Like, why was y'all so jumping on 12 Years a Slave, where It just sucked the whole time. Like everything was ass. But Django pops off and gets a black man broke through slavery to go get his black woman back. He protected her top to bottom and murdered every single person that did her dirty, that so much as harmed a hair on her head, blew her away. What nigga on earth is going to not enjoy and love this film? Because and everybody's getting caught up, well, it's cool. And I'm like, just say what the truth is. Everybody mad because you didn't make it first. I'm mad that Quentin Tarantino got to walk around here and say nigga. Okay, but if this black person says, and I'm not even really super like jumping on 12 Years a Slave, that's just the first thing that popped in my mind, but you'll watch this other whatever film, I'm going back to Precious because that movie sucked. Like, it got 50,000 awards and it was the worst depiction of everything. Rape dad, she's got AIDS, she's got babies, she's 16, she's overweight, running down the street with buckets of chicken. What the fuck do I want to watch this for? What does this teach me? Except, well, you know, and everybody's answer is always, this is because I'm not even mad at
heartfelt story. It shows the struggle of a black woman.
I'm not even mad at like white people or anything else. It's always us going, well, you know, that stuff do be happening. So do doctors, nigga. So do like lawyers. So do dudes that are just come from. Give me a movie where it's a great dude. Those stories happen. They're
well, they had that movie because you had the movie where Will Smith was playing the doctor that discovered CTE and
none of us
players.
watched that.
Who went and saw that? I saw that movie, but we don't hear people talking
Tell
about
the
that
truth because you didn't watch it. Yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes I have to like put the lens on us. It was like, I want better, and that's like, okay, well, you have to be better too. You gotta. I've sat through shit that I thought sucked, and then I was like, you know what, it's not that bad. They needed better lighting. They might have needed better. There's 50,000 startups online. Like, they needed better. This is a beautiful story. This is a really good whatever. And like, y'all not gonna watch the Lord. I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan like that. I like fantasy stuff. They got black elves and just characters that are pissing people off because I'm watching it. We don't watch that. And those are things that, and I'm not even trying to just be the geek guy, but it is things like that. If you let, and I should talk to your white friends. If a motherfucker looks every year and sees a Superman, a Aragorn, or whatever fucking character, they can fly and fight dragons. I can at least go to college.
Right.
They can fly and jump through different dimensions. The Flash can run top speed. I can do whatever I want.
We've had all types of Greek mythology movies and things of that nature. We've had Egypt. We've had stories about Egypt that was all white people, and we let that slide.
I bet some of y'all sitting up here talk about the shit we talking about, and y'all went and watched. I till this day ain't watched that movie. And word to Chadwick, and I'm gonna give him only the fact that he probably was
trying to build his resume.
He was contractually obligated. He signed on before he knew everybody was in there, and he still gave an amazing performance, I'm assuming. But to this day, I haven't watched it, and I'm never gonna watch it because
they killed him off.
They killed his character in there. If memory serves, because I did a lot of research on this film so I could hate it properly. He played Thoth, didn't he? The god of intelligence
started happening. If I remember the movie correctly, I've only seen it once. If I remember the movie correctly, all the gods were coming and they were presenting this and presenting that. And when somebody made a heel turn and started all the attacks, his character got killed.
Thoth is literally the god of like intelligence. Like when you die in Egyptian mythology, the person who's sitting there and like kind of he's part of the process of weighing the scales. Anubis is the scales. Like he think he actually places everything, but part of that process is Thoth. Like he introduced, like when you think Hermeticism, when they talk about like Hermes, like it's to all of that is Thoth. Mystery schools, everything that your favorite like philosophers, Plato, Aristotle, whoever the fuck, they learned it in the mystery schools of Egypt. Their main nigga was Thoth. That's the guy. Fuck y'all, bro. I'm never watching that stupid ass film.
DED. I think they like took his eyes or something like that. Like he's supposed to be smart man, the only black person in the entire movie, and as soon as shit start popping off. But I would ask how many people are going to go see I forgot the name of the movie, but the movie that's going to come out that has the African warrior princesses and all that other stuff.
Oh, The Woman King?
Yes.
I'm gonna be the first nigga in line.
Who's going to go see that? I know I'm going to go see it, but how many people are going to support that? One, two, who made that movie? Is it made by us? Because I've only seen the trailer and I was excited, but I also did see a little bit of kissing a white man in there, and I was like, ah. But are we going to support that movie? Are we supporting Nope? Have people supported Nope? like the way we supported everything else that came out, because Top Gun still making
And
money.
It surpassed that. Top Gun passed. Was it Lord of the Rings or one of the or Star Wars is like the most box office grossing whatever. But my thing with the Woman King is support it, and I want people to support it, and maybe I'm asking for too much. I want them to support it not just for the novelty of it, not just because it's black, because that shit is got us watching. I don't care what you say.
Anything Tyler Perry.
I'm not even Bad Boys Club, Bad Girls Club, whatever. All that shit is trash. Like
Reality TV. We dominate in that area when it comes to reality TV, scripted chaos and madness and bullshit.
Yeah, like all that shit that makes us look as fucking dumb as you could look, and motherfuckers people will have like 7-hour conversations. Well, you got to understand that Vibrancy Nuke doll should have slapped Ashley Cat because that was dumb. Everything about this shit is dumb. But you're gonna sit here and tell me this shit over here is not interesting, right? Like you can't. I don't know how those. And I'm big on duality, but those two things to me are in opposition. The Woman King is an actual story about the actual queen, and there's a bunch of. This is not even like the only story. There's a bajillion of them.
Tons of stories. That's why I would say support it, because this is actual depictions of our history that doesn't get shown that we should know.
But I feel like you can only support it if you want to. If watching it, you leave the film, and you go, "This inspires me," because that's what all these things are for.
Yes.
All entertainment at some point, it's entertaining, and I feel like we use that as a way to not make things with substance. Like it's just entertainment, but sometimes entertainment is things that inspires you. So you leave this film and you go, that's what a queen looks like. That's what somebody who does work look like. That's what whatever. And it makes you have to be better than yourself because
I don't know. Did we make that movie?
Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna look at y'all the same way I looked at y'all about Django. That's your fault. You should have put the script out there. Some of it obviously is the movie industry, racism, this, that, and the third.
Yes.
But at a certain degree, are y'all right? I mean, I don't know. That might be an unfair critique.
People will,
because some of them might be writing the scripts.
TikTok videos diving into history. That means you have the ability to make a movie as well. You can put that out there. We can be the first ones to do it. I mean, as much as we can talk shit about Tyler Perry and his wonderful wig selection in his movies, we also can like, hey, can you fund me making this movie that is creating a different narrative for our people? And I don't see him being somebody that's gonna be like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I think he would be willing to support.
Everybody, like even yesterday, like there was a couple responses to be like, this is our history. Dog, this is not even the tip of the iceberg of our history. If we're gonna start making movies about our history, I don't even need y'all to touch Egypt. You could where's the Olmec movie then? We're gonna keep it right here in America. Let's talk shit. Let's talk shit now, guys. We're good. It's a history movie. Let's talk that. We make all these slave movies and nobody makes a movie about where the revolts hit, because those happen. They got in there, they lopped them heads off, they lived happy lives, they said, don't fuck with us no more. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the people like, once again, this is a hidden colors tidbit. Like, why is Brazil so really chocolatey down there? Because they was winning. They had a whole different setup of how they did slavery down there. I'd watch that movie in Portuguese. I'll go learn some shit. They got to it. They used to communicate with each other. Then when it finally popped off, everybody popped off together, and they was like, look, stop leaving. That's why when you go down to Carnival, it's somebody that look like she grew up on over there in the 60s down there doing the hip thing. So make the stories. Fuck. I don't want to. I want to stay mad. Like, yeah, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. I'm mad all the time.
The real origin of Hulk.
Absolutely. Hulk is, you know what getting older is realizing that the Hulk is the most relatable character and that he's vastly misunderstood.
The Hulk was created to represent the struggles of black men.
Dead ass. You wake up, you go through life like, I want to be Spider-Man. I want to be like Captain America. He's inspiring. Fuck Cap.
I want to be Hulk.
Yeah, you are Hulk. You grow up realizing, oh, it's me. Like, this is me. This is my life. Because you be the good dude, you go to school, you do all the stuff you're supposed to do, and then life goes kapow. People see life go kapow. People watch what happened to Bruce. That wasn't a secret. He doesn't have a secret identity. It's not a mystery. And then they go, I'm gonna keep fucking with him. And it's his fault when we keep fucking with him.
And let's catch him because he is a danger to us
because
and
we
himself.
want his power. They want to catch the Hulk, not because he's a danger, because they want to use
figure out
him.
how we can,
yes,
the struggles of a black man.
the Hulk really should have been black.
He
I mean, I
should.
like Mark Ruffalo and everything.
I mean, they gave him the Asian Hulk with Amadeus Cho.
And his life ain't even hard. He just
smart.
He just cartwheeling, being a cool Hulk. I'm the Hulk, guys. He
All
gets
the smart
angry.
people figure out how to be Hulk, but there's no smart black person that can figure out how to be
This
Hulk.
is hey, look. This is why people are like, oh my God, Blue Marvel. How could you have stayed away from society? It's like because I grew up I came up in the 50s. I'm the strongest character on earth, and y'all told me to go sit down because I'm black. Then suffer, ho. Yeah, like all of y'all. What?
Let them suffer.
Yeah.
We have lots of comments to comb through before we get out of here.
Let's start. Where are we?
We got to go up higher than that. No.
Where we at? Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this one, the Kid in Colors one.
There you go.
Love Children of Blood and Bone. See that movie? The book's amazing, guys. Read the book. If you
easily turn that into a movie.
They're supposed to. If you audio book the book, they have good voice actors. So whatever you want to do, enjoy it. And a recent movie would be amazing. But then Thor wouldn't be cool, and but I'm still here for it. Do it.
All the copyrights that they use in Greek mythology would no longer be relevant. So we can't have that happen.
They're fucking 2 minutes. I can bust this. That's what he said.
Terrible.
Sorry, guys. How come I can't read this one?
You got to click off the thing.
Okay. Never watched Presses because the trailers look like it had no purpose aside from showing
that movie outside
both of you guys.
clips.
Good job, and keep it that way. Keep it that way. Oh, he did kill him. Damn. Fuck Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler's character killed him off. Yeah, I said.
Personally. Totally want to see that. Me too. It would be dope. I want to.
He's talking about the whatchamacallit movie.
That shit look like a black feminist minstrel show. The Woman King, I'm assuming. I have hope though, because I think people will take it that way and make it that way potentially, but I think it can definitely be that's what they were, man. They were warriors, they ran shit. Like I'm okay with that.
That's what they are. We still have communities in Africa of women that are like.
So I'll take that there are people that I feel like will turn it into like they'll just jump off the ledge and turn it into like shitting on us. But I think
all the women gonna see this movie and get back into the gym and get strong and fit and healthy and all that.
Now my little
I'm
villain
speaking it into existence.
Yeah, see now my villain critique of it sometimes is like you can't watch this and be like, that's what a queen like, and then you be out here saying stuff about
you gotta pay for me and my friend's meals. She's a queen and she whooping all kinds of ass on
that's
her
my
own.
one critique. I don't want to see y'all up here. I want to see y'all watch the movie. This is me being facetious. I don't want to see y'all out here going like, oh my God, I love Woman King. Blah, 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 blah. Like I'm super this. Just like I see y'all talking about things like the Door of Malaysia inspire you when you watch it, when you watch the movie.
But
And
y'all
then the
put
next
these long ass bullshit wigs on your head. Ain't none of y'all trying to go bald. And I love short hair, and y'all just speak ill of it so much because you love wearing these wigs.
King Von's sister. Did you know that the Door were kind of inspired by the Woman King thing? Because that's how Angela Bassett's character is a previous Door. She got to the business, and then T'Challa's dad was like, "Oh yeah, I want to marry her." That's what the Door do. They kick ass so they can be like dope enough to be the king's wife.
They earn the right.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't be knowing it. Goddamn. People aspire to be reality TV stars, acting like elementary school kids. Yeah, it's dumb all around. I'm not gonna hold you. 22 seconds.
That's for the radio people, for the
Yeah.
people on the applications. We
Yeah,
thank you
you-
for downloading the Good News Radio app and listening on there. So your time with us will be ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, etc., etc. So we will see you all next week. But for
Pretty
those
much.
of you that are here on the YouTubes,
I just wanted to start this because speaking of dope women rapping, it's Remy and fucking Rhapsody, and
Rhapsody is highly underappreciated.
honestly, Remy was going on from this too. Like
Remy gets some of her flowers, but she had to go to jail to get her flowers.
Anyways, strong facts, aspiring reality TV stars are whack actors. Most of the
They're
time, just
Instagram models that end up on TV.
I'm not putting my money to. That's people always wanting to donate to things that don't really benefit. STEM programs and life insurance that people have a fund me for weaves and nails. And I was even discussing that like in the fucking entertainment space. Like there are people trying to make real cool stories. And it's like, that's dope, man. I'm gonna go watch whatever the fuck. So yeah. Mad all the time. Big fucking facts.
She-Hulk.
Join the squad.
She-Hulk was fucking
a lot. Hey, okay.
Death
sorry.
by Snoo, baby.
You know who you know who I like to say this. You know who was knocking She-Hulk? Luke Cage. Bald, black,
knocking it down.
Just wrecking shit.
She's destroying all pelvises, but that one, she can't handle.
Fucking making coffee. Just word to a bald, black, bearded, the triple B's, man. Out here. Never seen Precious either. Again, don't. Like it's just
you're not missing much.
Don't. Never heard anything about it. Not missing out. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really watch TV either. Love and Hip Hop in New York. Cardi B was on it. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I saw the clips of Cardi B though.
And even then, when I watched it, it was on mute because I was just looking at fake butt.
Yeah,
I ain't watched it since then, and I was like one and two seasons.
So yeah,
now it's all anime and whatever superhero TV show or movie.
I watch anything that's interesting. I watched The Gray Man. That was an interesting story.
I haven't watched that yet.
There's still like some explosions, but just y'all gonna have to do. Like I've started watching The Magicians. The Dean is black. I forgot
to go back to The Magicians, and I really like. I saw bits and pieces. I was like, that looks really good, and I keep forgetting to go back.
Sci-fi needs a little bit of like respect on their name for the shows they create. I'd be forgetting Sci-fi makes shows.
They do.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I know it sounds very like do all the geeky stuff.
No, you should.
I mean, yeah, do that.
Learn life is the move.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. The whole thing about here is expand your mind, free your mind, your ass will follow. And yeah, see you guys on Tuesday.
We're not going to Neverland. No, Neverland.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, that place had a lot of
child labor, enslavement, pedophilia, and all that other stuff. Yeah, we don't want none of that.
Yeah.
Kids eating imaginary food because no, I don't. It's terrible. I don't want to go to
I don't know about that.
It's about as bad as Sesame Street. I never want to go.
Man, that and the place where they sent Pinocchio as it, but trauma. All right, see you guys next time. Till next time. Bye.